But the movie as a whole was very well done. They took away some great parts, I'm not gonna lie, but they didn't make a bad movie. All right, Walken, I have some thoughts about the Lilo and Stitch movie. I understand the critiques. I understand where everybody is coming from. I get how drastically they changed the plot and how that does drastically change the movie. However, the movie as a whole was done really fucking well. The acting is some of the best acting I've ever seen. The person who plays Lilo is fantastic. Nani, fantastic. Does it take you out of it that it's definitely Zach Galifianakis and not a Russian alien? Yes. Does it definitely take you out of it that Pleakley is a human man? Yes. Is it like, oh my god, look, he's wearing like random funny clothes? Like, okay. But it's also like he's not doing enough. There's no wig. There's no makeup. The lack of drag, the lack of color and whimsy for Pleakley was really hard to stomach. And I know that the original person tried their hardest. The removal of Gantu and then making Jumba the villain, it did suck to have Jumba become the villain and to see the bond with Pleakley and Jumba be very different. I think the way that they introduced Cobra Bubbles made a lot more sense than him already being a childcare worker, because I never really understood how he got there to begin with, because he was there before Stitch and there's no way he could have anticipated that. So like I think that made sense the way they introed him. Yes, Nani leaves, but I don't think you guys are understanding. In the original, she didn't have community. All she had was the alien protection saying y'all can't break the fuck up, and they were left on their own to their own devices to figure it out. This time they have people to help. They have people that want to help. They have a way to change the ending, right? There's a way for it to work out in both of their favors. And the fact that Nani came back, right, at the very end, she never left, right? She is probably, honestly, that's a big hint as to what's to come. And now they get to be sisters instead of Nani being the mother, right? This is what would have happened if they had more community. Obviously, the original show, they did not have that community. Obviously, that changes the dynamic of Nani and Lilo drastically, because now it's not that mother-daughter, sister-sister relationship. They're able to kind of sink back and be sisters that are hiding it from their parents. They're able to get that bond again, which is beautiful. I get how these things are taking away from the storyline, but as a movie, as a whole, with the new added characters, the changing of the plots and the characters, I think there's a lot of changes that happened to make it its own movie. The way that I tend to look at live action remakes, whether it be Avatar, not the fucking movie, the series, Cinderella or Mulan, all of these live action creations, I see as a retelling of a well-beloved story, because all of these stories originated as fables for the most part, right? Cinderella, Snow White, Tangled, all of them all originated in the Grimm's brothers, right? So these are all already retellings. Now, yes, Lilo and Stitch had such a great storyline and plot line, and it really highlighted a lot of different facets of people and how the tourism industry affects Hawaii, and how locals have a community, how the foster system is just not set up well at all, period. Like, there's flaws everywhere. I think both movies are beautiful in their own right. As somebody who relates to both Stitch and Lilo for feeling that lack of community and lack of belonging, it was very spot on. The main plot about Stitch and his character reigned true and stayed the same, and I think that was very beautifully executed and very well done. It is a completely different movie, but at the same time it's not. It does suck that they made these changes, but I do think it did make that movie, its own beautiful statement on society. However, yes, they should have handled things a lot differently, but they didn't. And I don't think what they created is ugly. I don't think that it's horrible. It's definitely not the same. But if you view it as a retelling of the same story, then maybe you'll look at it in a different light, like I have. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, and I don't think any of us ever will. But they put their best effort into this movie, and I think that they did a good job.